Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to practice using tables to find equivalent ratios. What I have pulled up right now is just a screen grab here of the 4 and 5s from the multiplication chart. Now, since they follow a pattern, it's pretty easy to figure out what the missing numbers are. But sometimes our numbers are going to be out of order. So we're going to use what we are given to help us find the missing information. For example, the only information they gave me was the ratio of x to y is 16 to 20. So I'm going to use that to help me find some of these other missing numbers. So I'm going to start with the 16. I know that I can go from 16 down to 4 by dividing by 4. What did I do at the top? I'm going to do to the bottom. So 20 divided by 4 will be 5. So I've got my first equivalent ratio. Now that I went down to 5, it's going to be much easier for me to go up to some of these other numbers. So I'm going to start at 5. And to go from 5 to 15, I'm going to ask myself, what do I need to multiply by? Well, that's going to be times 3 on the bottom. So then we're going to do times 3 on the top. 4 times 3. Our missing number is 12. Our next one up, let's see, to get to 30, there's two different ways I could get to 30. I could do 15 times 2, and then I would do 12 times 2. That's going to be 24. Or I could go all the way from 4, 5, ask myself, how do I get from 5 to 30? Well, that would be times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. So either way, I'm going to get the number 24 there for my missing ratio number with 30. And our last one is a 20. So I am going to, let's see, we have a 20. So how do I get from 4 to 20? Well, I'm going to multiply by 5. What I do on the top, I'm also going to do on the bottom. So on the bottom, I have 5 times 5, so that will be 25. And that's an example of what we're going to be doing today. Let's just clear this out. Okay, we went through how to use multiplication charts to find equivalent ratios. If you look at this, they're giving us the row of 3s and the row of 8s. So all of these, the original ratio is 3 to 8, but I can follow down the number line, like 9 24ths, 12 32. Those are all equivalent ratios. So using a multiplication chart can be helpful. Clear this. Okay, this is the assignment that we did in class today. We took some ratio notes. Let's see here. We talked about a ratio table, how it organizes data into columns, whether our table is, let's see, pencil. A table might be horizontal, like this, X and Y, or we might have a vertical table, this, X and Y. Okay, so either way, we treat them the same. Equivalent ratios are like equivalent fractions. They have the same relationship between two quantities. Scaling, this is a new one. I might ask you what the scale factor is. Scale factor is the number that we multiply or divide by. Okay, so let's do some of these examples. Our first one. Example 1, you need 1 cup of rolled oats to make 24 oatmeal cookies. Use the ratio table to find out how many oatmeal cookies you can make with 5 cups of rolled oats. 24 cookies, 1 cup of oats. So if I wanted to use a multiplication chart for this, I could look at my 12s, because since 12 times 2 is 24, I could use the 12 multiples to help me find my missing numbers. But since I can't show you that at the same time that we're recording, we're just going to do it the regular way. We're going to see how many cups or cookies we can make with different amounts of cups of oats. So let's see here. They started with 1 cup. So we're going to double that to see how many cookies we can make. This would be times 2. 24 times 2 is 48. And to get the next one, we're going to do times 3. 24 times 3, that would get us to 72. And then times 4 would get us to 96. And our last one is 120. Because 24 times 5 would equal 120. So now we know there are 120 oatmeal cookies with 5 cups of rolled oats. Okay, example number 2. A department store has socks on sale for 4 pairs for $10. Use the ratio table to find the cost of 6 pairs. Now this one's going to be a little different because in this case, you must scale back in order to answer the questions. What is the greatest common factor of 4 and 10? So just like if this was a fraction, I would divide that, since they're both even, by 2 to simplify it. That's exactly what we're going to do with this ratio table. All right, so I cannot multiply 4 straight over to 6. 4 times something is not 6, unless I want to do a decimal, which I don't. So from 4, we're going to go down first and get smaller. We're going to divide by 2 for top and bottom, just like we simplified that fraction. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so this is an equivalent ratio. 4 to 10 is equivalent to 2 to 5 ratio. And now that I have 2, which is an easier number to work with, I can scale up to 6 by multiplying by 3. So my scale factor is 3. That's what I'm multiplying top and bottom by. 5 times 3 is 15. Good. Okay, so the big takeaway from this one is sometimes you cannot go directly from the information they give you to what you're looking for. Sometimes you have to take a step to get an easier number to work with, and then you can move up to what they're looking for. All right. Our next one here. At a dog shelter, a 24-pound bag of dog food will feed 36 dogs. So let's see. 24 bag of food will feed 36 dogs a day. How many dogs would you expect to feed with a 16-pound bag of dog food? Fill in the ratio. Okay, so sometimes you'll get a ratio table that is blank, and you have to just be careful that you're putting your numbers in the right place. So on the top here, we've got pounds of food. So any of the numbers that go with pounds of food is going to be in my top row. So right here, we've got 24 pounds. And we need to find out how many dogs we could feed with 16 pounds of food. So those are both on the top row. On my bottom row here is any values that have to do with the number of dogs. So we know there's 36 dogs that go with 24 pounds of food. All right, so just like last time, I'm going to simplify and go smaller before I go back up to 16. And there are a number of factors that they have in common. Let's see. Actually, I want to do it like that. 24 and 36. Well, they're both even, so they both have 2's that I could divide them by to go smaller. 3 works with both of these numbers. 4 works with both of those numbers. 6 works with both of those numbers. 8 does not. And 12 works. All right, so if I wanted, I could do 6 or 12. Those would be the easiest ones for me to use. And I think I would like to use 12, the greatest common factor in this one. So I am going to divide top and bottom by 12. Divide by 12 to get my new numbers. So 24 divided by 12 is 2. 36 divided by 12 is 3. That ratio is now in simplest form. Now that it's in simplest form, it's easy for me to figure out what I need to multiply by to go up to 16. Well, 2 times 8 is 16. So what do I do to the top? I have to do to the bottom. 3 times 8 gives us 24. So we could feed 24 dogs with 16 pounds of food. All right. Next, we did the back side of this paper, and we did number the NOAA question at the bottom together. All right, so we're going to start with what they gave us, and our goal is to fill in all the missing values for these ratios. They're equivalent. So I'm going to use multiplication and division to find my missing numbers. I'm going to start off with 6. I know I can easily go from 6 to 3 by dividing by 2. What I do to the bottom, I also do to the top. So 26 divided by 2 is 13. 13 is half of 26. Okay, so now that I have, I went down smaller, I have a number that's easier to work with, I can easily go from 3 to 9 by multiplying by 3. What I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. So times 3 on the top. 13 times 3 is going to be 39. You could have also gotten it by adding the 13 and the 26 together to get 39. And our last value here, how many times does 13 go into 52? Well, 39 plus 13 more is 52. So this is actually being multiplied by 4. What I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So 3 times 4, we have 12. And that is how you find the missing numbers. Let's do one more together. Let's see, we might as well do this yard of fabric one. Miss Pearson uses 9 yards of fabric for every 2 costumes for the school play. So let's fill this out. I noticed that they went from, I can go from 9 to 18, and that'll help me find this number right here. Since 9 times 2 is 18, I know that 2 times 2 is my missing number here, 4. Next, I want to get the missing number that goes with 6 at the bottom. Well, if 2 times 3 is 6, I'll have to multiply 9 by 3, 9 times 3, to get my missing number here. And our last one, let's see, we have 9 times 4 is 36. So 2 times 4 will give us 8. Okay, hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching our video today.